Okay, so today we're going to be recreating this 3D scrolling effect which I used in the announcement graphic for the Sidemen app advert. Let's get started. So I initially saw this effect in this OneDrive App Store video on Behance a while back, and for the piece I was working on, this effect would be a great way to show navigating the app in a more interesting way in comparison to just sticking a screen recording on the screen. So you can see here, you see these assets, these 3D images are like scrolling down the screen. This effect can obviously be done for whatever type of screen you like, but in this case I'll be using an iPhone model. If you don't have one, you can grab one from most 3D asset marketplaces such as CD Trader or TurboSquid. I've got this iPhone set up already. You can already see where I've got the Sidemen clothing app hotbar that I created. I'll keep that there. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. But to start this effect, if you want to create your assets, whether it's just like a large image or a product image, in my case I could do a product image, so I could just start with a plane. I could change the width and height to maybe, we could do like 55-ish, maybe 54. Let's try 54 by 54. We'll bring this one back to the center. In our width and height segments, we can up this to, we could do 60. If we hit N and then B, we can change to the lines mode and we can see how many faces this has created for us. The more we have, the smoother the effect is going to look, but if your PC can't really handle it, then you can obviously lower this number and then maybe just up it for when it comes to rendering. But for playback in the viewport, I understand if you need to lower it, that's not a problem. If you don't make this object editable, then obviously you can keep coming back and changing these numbers. So for now, I'm not going to change this to an editable object. I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, so now that we've got our object, we can set up our screen however we like. It depends. If you have a custom setup that you want to create, something like I did, where I had to actually create the Sidemen clothing app layout, like the home page, so it needed to be like a specific look, or you might just be wanting to stick your object in a cloner, so it's just all the same kind of stuff. I'll create a custom layout for this tutorial because that's what I did before, but it pretty much works the same way with a cloner, but I'll be able to show you that a bit later. So if I was trying to create the app like before, then I could just create two product images here, and then let's say we wanted like a bigger picture, like a bigger asset just above these. Could maybe make this wider. For this example I won't make this perfect, but this will be okay. Maybe we could stick another one down here. So we've got two images and then two more assets above and below, and they all have a lot of faces. I mean, so the other thing to point out as well is, depending on what you need, you can adjust the height and width segments, because for this effect we're only scrolling up and down. We actually don't really need the width segments. We just need more height segments because it's only scrolling down. So I could select all of these and lower these width segments down. I mean, you literally could just leave it on one. So now I might just stick a material on these top two. I've got a product image already set up. I might just make these blue. I'll just stick them on as they are. They don't need to be anything specific. And then I could also chuck these on here. So this is my page, very basic, but for the effect we're trying to achieve, I only need to show how to actually set it up. So if we came over here and added a connect object in, we can select our bottom asset and then holding shift select our top one and drag and drop them into the connect. We can turn off weld, and now that we've got this connect, when we have it selected and we drag, we can actually control the entire page that we've set up. If we now right click on that connect and head down to other tags and down to Vertex Map, add that in, and now we have Vertex Map set up for all the assets inside this connect. So with the Vertex Map selected, we can add a linear field, and if we head down to this lamp and we can turn this to 0.1, and then change the direction to, do +Z, and then we can just drag this down to where your page ends, or where you want this kind of scrolling, or the assets, sorry, to start disappearing. So I'll stick that there for now, and then you can also hold Control and drag on the blue arrow and add another one to where you want it to begin. If you're scrolling down, then you might have more assets that you want to be coming onto the page as you go, and you're going to want to flip to -Z. So now that you've done that, they're both set up in your Vertex map, and with the top one selected, you want to change this to multiply. If we now grab our connect and drag, you can see how when your assets go past this linear field, or both of them, how they change to red. So that's the effect we want. So now we can use this vertex map inside our materials. So if we open our product one up first, and we double click and we search for vertex attribute and add that in, we can then drag our vertex map into this vertex attribute name. So now the material is going to read, when we hook this up into the opacity, it's now going to read that vertex map and use it for the opacity of the material. So we can do the same in our material up here. We can search for vertex attribute, add the same vertex map in, drop that in, hook that up to the opacity. So now when we grab, if we click elsewhere in the viewport so that we don't have the like the vertex preview showing, you can then just select the connect itself and drag. You can see we've already achieved our effect. So if you had more assets, like let's say I just selected plane 2, so that's our top asset. So you had more and more assets like that you were planning to sort of scroll down, as I did in my example. Now when you grab your connect and you drag them down, they start to show. And if you were going to use a cloner instead, then all you need to do is drag your vertex map onto that cloner and the effect will stay the same. So that's really the effect done. I know I didn't make it too pretty, but now that you know the functionality behind it and how to set it up, you can just go away and make it look how you want. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you learned something or enjoyed the video. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.